let's just go through all the cards. Let's look at the Zoo.
Sure. So this is the worker. This is probably one of my favorite units. I think this is extremely strong in that upgrades are how your army gets more powerful throughout the course. And if you take a look, the more times that you can get this ability off, the stronger your army gets. You can sort of snowball that into a victory if you play this correct. It is vulnerable to the 3 though. The 3 can pop this, and upgrading is actually pretty relevant because of the restore ability. Do we want to talk about a little bit here?
Yeah, so like restore, it takes fire off,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like, oh, they're gonna get 3 battles there. She's
Mhm.
getting 2, and at the right moment, that could buy you a whole round.
Mhm.
So you gotta be careful with that.
Mhm.
As default thing is you get a free upgrade,
Mhm.
right? It kind of the order the battles resolve are important because if you're like, I want to get my Marine upgraded,
Mhm.
you want him to fight first because he might win a fight, go to base, and might get upgraded again. It's a sequencing thing if you want to get to level 3 quick, right? Um, and then over here, he has a comeback mechanic where if you're losing, you get bonus.
Mhm. And it's
Um,
also one of your few sources of Marines as well too. So if you are losing, combining this ability with Leon, not Leon, Trey's level 3 ability here means that you actually have the ability to make a ton of Marine tokens, get a lot of power, and come back from behind. Pretty nice combination.
yeah, totally. Um, yeah, he's really good and he's critical, but because he's 0, his battle effect always goes last. So he's prime destruction effects.
Mhm.
He's even weaker than the Marine. So there's cards that destroy the weakest unit. This dude always dies.
Mhm.
So you have to keep that in mind.
It's also good for faking your opponents out as well too, because being unpredictable with the worker, your opponent might not be able to call it out correctly with.
Let's look at the hack.
Okay, so we talked about a little bit of this beforehand. High risk, high reward, but this card is so much fun to play with. Um, so it's a guessing game. You just choose a card face down and guess what the number is. If you guess right, you basically win that whole entire. It is that powerful.
Yes. I will at least that length, which is huge. So the level 1, you sacrifice 1 power to look at a card. So you're giving up 1 power for knowledge,
Mhm.
right? Can matter. You gotta be careful. Over here, you can use it the same way, but you get to keep the power because it's a lead effect,
Mhm.
or you can lose a power to get the guess.
Mhm.
So it's a small cost. Again, the reward is high. It
Mhm.
sends it back to base, which is important because when you played your dude, it can,
I could upgrade it with my worker later on if you send it back to my base, for
yeah.
example.
Well, level 3 destroys it, which means it can,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Same guessing game. Um,
What's cool about this card as well too is this sort of bobbing and weaving game that I was talking about before, where you have to kind of play around this hacker as well. And I think honestly, this is my favorite card to play against. I don't like playing this card, but I love playing against the card. Because like I can try and like, be evasive, trying to mix it up. But sometimes I'll even do the cheeky little put my own hacker face down to try and mix it up.
I mean, sometimes you have to because like you don't want to be too transparent on where you put your numbers.
Yep.
And you know, oh, they're hacking me all the time. You put it down to 1.
Mhm.
They're never going to guess.
Yes. But if you can call out this card, it is extremely powerful. Do not underestimate your ability. It's extremely very great.
Correct. So next we have the Marine.
Yep.
This is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
At level 1, he makes 2 friends.
Mhm.
He's actually 4 power.
Mhm.
But importantly, there's other cards that punish wide boards. So sometimes he's 2, and then where you feel safe, you go 4, right? And with here, he gains move. This is my favorite thing. Move during battle. I'm gonna lose here. He nopes out to another lane and reinforces it.
Mhm.
And on level 3, he can move himself and his tokens.
Mhm.
So it's more options to like on range.
Yeah. So this effect is especially good if you have priority. So if you have the first player token, this ability gets significantly better. So timing when you level this up actually can be really relevant too. You like sometimes actually, if you notice in a lot of those rounds, I did not play this card base up.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a reason why. It's because I want to be able to play around a couple of cards. Because if I play up with this Marine, then there's a lot of things that punish it. What could punish it? Mecha level 2, any of the war heroes, and Trey, which is the officer. All 3 of these can punish placing the Marine face up. So it's actually pretty vulnerable to just being face up. But the fact that it can combo with other cards as well too is very strong.
Yeah, and the move, like, he can like
Mhm.
you resolve this one first.
Mhm.
He moves. He can move again. There's a lot of options to select. But again, he can get popped, right? Because his effect goes after the destruction.
And it also lets you overcommit into a specific lane and then shift it over to something else if you find that you actually have too many things going on there.
Cool. So now let's look at 3. Tray of officer. Cool. So 3 power, or you can spread that 3 power with this. And you can go 1/1/1, 2/1, 2/1, right?
Mhm.
Here's where he gets spicy. His battle effect is to destroy a 0 to 3 unit.
Mhm.
So you can take out other officers or, like, again, any of the cards we talked about.
Mhm.
So you got to watch out. He takes out prime targets.
Mhm.
And if you lead with him, you can get a buffed Shimarine. So he's a pretty flexible card. There's a lot of ways to use it.
Mhm.
And he's
Yeah.
a temple.
And if you notice in the last game, I used him to sort of force through a breach in the final turn. So I combined the Marine with the officer, with the captain, and it made this just unstoppable push to sort of finish off the game for an unstoppable offense. So there's a lot of different ways to use the officer here, and playing him face down, even if you have it at level 3, is always an option.
All right. So the next one we have War Hero. She gets stronger if she's outnumbered.
Mhm.
So she can gain up to +3 strength. So she can become a 7. And on lead, if they have more units, then you can set their base on fire more and get more victories. So you can punish them going. You can punish big groups.
Yep. I really like this card because, again, it's a check to the Marine. It's also a check to like bigger units. It does get checked by stuff like the mech, if you just solo it. And it also checks the Warp Worker as well too. So that like it is a counter to a lot of different cards, but it can also get countered very hard as well too.
Got this one. But you get.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. We're getting to thick. So we have the mech.
Ooh, this one's fun.
So at level 1,
Mhm.
hidden or a 5. But if you
Mhm.
reveal the 5, you get a charge counter. What does that mean?
Mhm.
At this level, it means more things. Because you can use the one charge counter to destroy all Marine tokens.
Mhm.
So it just deletes Marine tokens. You can take out those kind of strategies. And at level 2, you can destroy all units, including your own, forcing a tie. So that's something to consider,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. Basically removal. Big.
Oh, and it also combos with the captain's effect as well too, of being able to protect your own things. So you can actually guarantee that you win a combat by combining the level 3 with the level 2 of as well.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Mhm.
But which is great to finish off the game. Remember, you also get slammed.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, hopefully you don't, but you know,
so now we have Captain.
doesn't do anything on level 1, which is fine. Just your stats are quality of their own.
Yeah, but 6 is the biggest number you can get.
Mhm.
Here, lead. Your units can't be destroyed. So if you play this face up, you can protect him from all shenanigans.
Mhm.
And then at 6, he becomes a utility. He still has that. He destroys the weakest unit. If you're feeling really confident, you can damage the outposts to basically try to win the thing.
I actually considered playing it for the base ability. On the turn I showed you the captain, I was like, I'm going to show you this. I don't know where it's going. One of the places I was thinking about was actually hitting the base and sort of pushing the envelope there. Because like what I could have done is I could have played this in base, sacrificed that round, and then I could have just like gone through the breach and try and force through one of the lanes to win.
Yeah, if one of the spaces, like, they're going to only get 1 or 2 medals,
Mhm.
you can just do that and push the advantage, which might close the game out really.
Mhm.
So, yeah, those are the units.
Mhm.
Both Leon decks are identical.
Mhm.
And it's really about, hey, when to upgrade your cards, how to upgrade your cards, and use your revealed and hidden information to win. Because, like, your revealed cards give you more power.
Mhm.
Your concealed cards, well, they don't give it information, and it's less power. So, that's the dance of the game.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've sort of liked early on is the effects are a lot simpler early on, so you can focus more on the prediction aspect of the game early. A lot of times, just the number matters. Effects aren't um as intricate, so you can really dial in on the prediction aspect, and it helps you sort of ease into the learning.
Yeah, totally. But even if you're experienced, you can be like, hey, I'm seeing your early play patterns, and
Mhm.
you're going to learn a little bit about their habits,
Yeah.
so you can get those reads.
Like what counters what. You kind of already get a sense of what counters what just very early on. For example, mech counters war hero counters marine, and so on and so forth.
One of my favorite tells is playing this face up
Mhm.
because um, first time players, so it's basically it's going to feel like there's no reason not to play face.
Mhm.
But later, when you realize I need to keep that information hidden,
Mhm.
you realize I have a couple games under their belt, so you can enter a different mentality.
Because what happens is, let's say I play this marine face up. What did I just do? I just made it so that I told my opponent that I don't have the two face down, and so it opens up the number of options that I have for guessing. So the less information that I give away, a lot of times, yes, you're sacrificing 2 power, but if you take a look, sometimes you can just lose by 11 in a particular way, right? And then the 2 power doesn't necessarily feel so bad anymore.
Yeah, totally.
It lets you be unpredictable by placing it face up, face down.
All right, man. Well, thanks. Thanks for running through the cards, and thanks for watching.
All right.